Hey everybody, it's Micah, and I'm doing this because I owe these guys an apology. I was supposed to have a double header with them. Unfortunately, I suck at the calendar. My match was actually going to be on the second, not the first, but I told them I'd do the stats and all the scores for them, so here we go, and we'll get this started.
Put this
How
out
loud
of
this
here.
is.
Okay, calm down.
Try to bring that down to a balance. Capone's going to start off on the head pin, leave himself the parallel pins off to the side. Keep Don's face out of the way. And shooting at the parallels. Oh, he's going to pick it up. Don't have the replay ready. We'll get there. And on the fill, back on the head pin. And a baby split this time, leaving the 3, 9, 10. Capone, see if you can pick up the baby here. Oh, and he's going to chip that one right through into the background. And it'll settle for a 9 box. So quick start for Capone, 26 through 2. Let's bring up Mike's stats on the season. So he's in Division 2 in Class B South, struggling out of the gates with a 28-56 record, which has him in 24 games behind, but not of any of his own fault. 108.5 average, 8 strikes, 71 spares, 85 tens in just 30 strings as he lemon drops through the 4-pin. And this time he'll slide out to the right. See if he can throw one down the middle to get back at the meat here. That looks like Mark Moon going to fix another lane. Mark's doing a good time up here at Sparetime, really trying to get some activity in the house. And Capone with a much better third ball. It's going to out his way to a 9 box. Mike Capone normally bowling out of Ryan Family Amusements in Millis. Let's see if we can get back here, find out why my live's being a jerk. Capone all over the head pin, everything but the 8-pin. I'll get there. There we go. And we'll grab that one and do it upright. What's going on, Nico? Oh, I should probably have the audio not being mixed here so we don't lose this in the background while that's going on. So Capone picking up the spare as I work to correct my configs real quick. Capone will be on the head pin for the 4th time in this first half. Looking at the diamond 3. And that is Sparetime in a nutshell. Absolutely love bowling here, but let me tell you, it just feels like the wood plays heavy. Like you really have got to get things just right. And Mike's going to drift out to the side there. He'll have his opening half of 60 as Mark Moon pops his face back out. Unfortunately, the escape to go down and repair the machines and back is about 10 feet down lane 12. I like bowling with Mike. I get to bowl with him in the Wednesday Night Millers League as Devish steps up. We'll get his stats up there. He's off the head pin to the right, but 41 and 57 in Division 4. He's 14 games out of first place. 13 strikes, 68 spares, 83 tens in just 35 strings. And of course, he's the one who bowls out of spare time. And thanks to him, this is his video, so I certainly appreciate that. See if you can clean up the 10 there. Ball's going to glide aside for an 8 box. Thanks to Capone's hot start, Don finds himself quickly in a 9-pin hole. Which brings up my little magic box there in the middle. As you can see, it says 52 for the half, 52 for the match. Basically says that Don needs 53 pins to catch up to Mike's score through the half and take the lead in the match overall. And he's on the head pin, leaving the triangle 3 with an interesting piece of wood there against the 3 and the 5 to help him kick over to the 7. And he's able to get the plow, but I'm telling you, the wood is just heavy. It just kicks that ball out in front of the 7. Nope, behind the 7 even. So he drove through it a little better. And he's going to leave that one standing for a 9 box. DJ looking for his first mark of the match. I did bowl Ed Woodside yesterday. I'll try to do that match after this one. You know, the conversation we had, a lot of good back and forth with Ed, just talking about, you know, wanting that first mark when you start out a match. DJ is going to be right of the head pin again, punching through the 3 hole. Todd, we got any good matches coming for you up ahead? That's where you want to hit it. Hits it great on the outside of the head pin. Gets things moving around, but no love getting over the left triangle. And we'll clean it up for his first perfect box of the string. It's just a 10, but pinning his way back into the match, although he is up against a 16 box here. I don't think I've bowled at a lot of the houses up there. Lakeside seems to have some pretty decent scores. DJ here in the 4th, this time off to the left of the head pin. Basically got the Caleri right without the 10 pin. I think I'm in the same boat with you. I just bowled my 10th match yesterday. So, kind of happy to be in the driver's seat for the schedule. Sure DJ wants that ball back, and see if he can clean up the 1-3-8. He's going to hold tight. It'll be an 8 box, so just 35. Obviously looking to sit on a mark here. Hopefully he can get his first one of the string in the match. But good for you being ahead of pace. All right, DJ, 5th box. Just again, a sliver off that head pin. This time the full Caleri on the right. It's a tough shot to pick up anywhere, but seems really hard to grab this one here. And jeez, that's about as good as you're going to throw at it and not get it. You see that pin come off the wall and just slide right in between the 6 and the 10. And there he goes, slices it off the wall. So probably not the start that he wants, but it is going to be the start that he has. Just to give you a little info on how I score matches and what the different icons mean. You see here that you'll see the boxes highlighted in red and yellow. That indicates that they hit the head pin with the ball on their first ball. If you see a red circle, it indicates a split, which is of course any leave where the head pin is down and there's at least a 1-pin gap between standing pins. And ironically enough, most of those happen on head pins, but we just saw one right there where he didn't hit the head pin with the ball, but it came back and took out the 1 and 2. He is left with a split. As you can see, the big gap between the 4 and the 9 pin there, and hits the wood, but the wood wins. Takes out the 4, and somehow the 7 and 9 are still alive. Looking to clean up the mess here. Capone's going to pick a stick. As a bowler, oftentimes in this kind of situation, early in a match, I'll try to shoot the corner pins just to make sure I've got my feel on the corners. Those sometimes become tricky when you have to hit one for a spare on your first one. And Mike's going to miss the 9 pin. So just an 8 box. 8 above par, as Bob Lee would say, which is pretty much. Well, and then there's that. Way to straighten yourself right back out, Mr. Capone. Good ball on the pocket, gets the push on the 5-pin. First strike of the match. Third mark in the string. And you just got to wait on the pin setters here. I do love Sparetime. It is really a great house. Obviously, as you can see, wooden lanes, and the pretty two-tone coloring they got there, and the mix in. The pins are in great shape. The pin setters do their jobs, and Capone's going to be a bit thin. First ball on the strike, and it's going to leave him looking at the triangle 6, and then the 7 post all the way over to the left. He's got some good wood out front. Looks like if he can drop it on the stripe there, that front pin might do him some good. And oh no, not by much. Looked like he was just a sliver high. Takes out the triangle, but unable to catch that 7-pin as he drives right through, and the wood is like, nah, I'm not going to help. And of course, the remaining piece of wood is just an ultimate roadblock. It'll be a 9-box, but still 96 through 8, plus 16 for Mike. He's ahead of his average, and certainly in the driver's seat here for the string, putting the pressure on DJ. Capone firing away in box 9. It's going to be thin on the opposite side, but no worse for the wear, leaving just the right-hand wing there, 3-6-10. Can't say I'm a huge fan of that wood out to the right, but I hope the one behind doesn't kind of kick him away from the 10. Nope, bullies it right over. Grab a clip of that, his 4th mark of the opening string here. 106 plus a ball through 9. All right, looking for a decent fill. Should have an easy shot, at least at a 20 string. And a little light on the head pin. He's going to leave the Starlight 5 on the left-hand side. Needs 9 for a 120. Obviously would love to pick this up. He's got a good ball for it. Hello, and there it is. Half the stringer marks. Get a clip of that one. Play it up again. Beautifully into the 2-5 pocket and just blows it right up. Looking to finish the string here at 21 plus 8. A sliver short of a 130, so it'll be a 129 opening salvo from Capone. Coming out strong against DJ there. 8 head pins, 3 splits, 4 spares, and a strike in the string. Just 6 pins left standing. As DJ gets up and takes his practice slide, looking at a pretty big hole to dig out of. He needs 85 to take the string and get back in the match. He's going to start out on the head pin. Is that going to flip me around? Yeah. All right. Trying to balance out how to do this the right way. And shooting at the triangle too. He's going to stay to the right and just sneak that 5-pin out of there. Looking for the 10, and that's the ball you wanted the second time around. Those are always tough and frustrating. But either way, it's a 10 box. It's second in a row, third in the string. But here's where Mr. Capone got hot, nearly doubling his score in 4 boxes. DJ's waiting for any of his bowling balls or a specific one to throw first. Put away in box 7 up against a strike and matching it with, not quite, but he's on the head pin, gets a yucky split out of it. He's got the 2 and the 4 with the 10 pin all the way over to the right. I don't think that wood's really angled in a way to make a difference, but we'll see. Well, field goal. That ball just got away from him. Early match nerves. And that's kind of what I'd expect out of Sparetime. Punches straight through the 2. It'll just be an 8 box, and the string is in trouble without a hot streak here. Even if he threw a bunch of 20 boxes, he'd still be short, so he's going to need a double in here somewhere. And that one will stay away from the head pin, and I can't believe the corner didn't go. So he's got the 1, 7, 9. He's got a double wall in behind the 1, which should help get the 7. Huh! I think he pulled that a little bit, and unfortunately off the cap is able to get the 1 and the 7, but had nothing to drive through to the 9. Looking for the stick. That'll be his 4th 10 of the match. 73. And at this point in time, there is a very slight chance if he throws 5 strikes, sorry, 4 strikes, to get back in this one, but we'll have to wait and see. And that'll be it. Capone is going to win the first string as DJ stays outside of the head pin there, leaving just the 1 and the 2 though. Oh no! I'm sure he wanted that one. Just off the head pin, takes out the 2 pin. Looking for the 10, that one's way out to the right. Alright, can't let the big score against you get in the head. You just gotta sit down, throw your ball, and start to get yourself back in order. Plan for the next string. Box 10 sitting at 82, and once again gonna be off the head pin, leaves the lambda on the left side, the 1, 2, 4, 8, and then the 10 post. Oh, there you go. Great ball to pick it up right in between the 1, 2 pocket, and the wall's nice enough to make sure those pins come in there. Actually, even if I think the wall might have missed it, but somehow got a pin to roll over there and sweep out the 10. Not sure if it would have gone around it on the wall. Looks like it might have. And it'll be off the head pin to finish it. Just a 96, so Capone out to a pretty demanding first string lead. Sitting here winning 129 to 96. DJ only 3 out of 10 on the head pin, 2 splits. He had a spare, 4 10s, and left 8 pins standing on the plate. Mr. Capone winding up here on lane 11. Oh, there's DJ swiping the camera over. It's interesting how he does that. It's almost like he doesn't stop and start it, but it's like a quick jump. He must have like a preset or something. It's great. If any of you have the chance and you are bowling in the ACST and you want to just record your match, if you could do it like this, and I have the time, I am happy to do the commentary and add the score sheets in and all that kind of stuff for you. In this case, DJ had just uploaded it to his Google Drive, shared it with me, and downloaded it, and here we go. Capone firing away in string 2. Well, boom. Is that Joe Gallerani that we're hearing there? Sounds like it. Capone just absolutely crushes the 1, 2 pocket. Gets the forward kick on the 6. Alrighty, box 2. Just 11 more strikes, Capone. Just 11 more. Looking for the double. He gets the lean down to the side, but unfortunately doesn't find a way for that to flop into the 10. But everything's lined up really good here for a 20 box. And there it is. Get the clip in there. As Capone shoots that right on the line. 20 through 1. Doesn't start much better than that. Alright, box 3, looking for a fill here. Oh, he's going to be off his target, and unfortunately that's a half Worcester on the right side. These are always fun to shoot. you know, generally you want to throw the ball right where the pins are missing. See if you can kind of get off the head pin and make things go crazy. Looks like he's trying for the 1-2 pocket. He's going to bully through most of that, leave the setback on the right. So he's got the 5, 6, and 10. But he's got a nice piece of wood there to kind of see if it can happen for him. I'm sure he's going to try to shoot it. Oh, caught the cap of it, but still was able to get 2 of them. So 41 through 3. Capone's off to a hot start here in string 2. Through 13 boxes, averaging a sliver over 130. Let's see if he can keep that pace up. And that one will be off the mark to the left, but nothing but the 1 and the 3 to clean up. Wood's behind it, so that shouldn't be a problem. And there you go, his 3rd mark of the string just here in box 4. Another spare as he drills the 1-3. All right, looking to fill here as he fires away in box 5. That one got away from him. We heard the oh no on the release, but it held in there. Manages to chip out the 3, 6, 10 and the 4 pin, so he's got the cluster in the middle and the 7 post. See what he can do with that. Oof. Hits the 1-2 good, but deflects off and away, leaves the back triangle 5. And that one will come a little to the left. It'll be an 8 bucks, so still a great half. His 63 half, 3 pins ahead of his 60 opening half in the first string. As DJ starts to try to dig himself out of an early hole, he finds himself needing 64 to get, you know, in control of the string. And then he finds himself looking at 97 pins to take the lead in the match. So, hey, you never know when someone's going to have a huge half, right? He's going to start out on the head pin as he comes in there from the left-hand side. It's a little light and leaves him to starlight 5 on the right. That piece of wood's going to run away on him. And he'll punch out the half Worcester on the right. So the 5, 6, 10 setback on the right to deal with here for a 10 bucks. And he'll find the bunny hole. All right. A tale of 2 bowlers' fates here in spare time as Capone starts out with a strike and DJ just a 7. And a little heavier on the head pin, still coming in. And the post falls down, so if he can throw the same second ball he threw in the last box, this will be a spare. He's got to punch the half Worcester right. And when they're the only 2 pins there, it's the hardest shot in the world. Gets around the 3, sweeps the 9 with the wood. And snakes by it for a 9 bucks. So through 2, Capone's got him doubled up, 32 to 16, and that's why you see the comp number at 16. That's the completed boxes. Obviously, DJ needs 48 pins to take the lead in the half, 81 to take the lead back in the match. And that one's going to slide across the head pin. Does some damage. He leaves the Caleri left without the 7 pin. So 1, 2, 4, and 9. No wood to help. And he didn't like that orange pin. So out goes the orange pin. The 1, the 4, and the 9 to deal with here. Oh! You know, it's not a 10, but that's about as good as you're going to get out of that one. Great job catching the 1 and the 4. All right, 25 through 3 for DJ. Obviously wanting a couple of marks here. There he goes. That's a great ball. This time across to the... even though he's a righty, it still is Brooklyn side because you see how he comes in dramatically from the left-hand side. He's just got the back triangle 5, a piece of high wood to deal with, and sure as hell it's going to screw him out of the 9-pin. You really kind of need to catch the cap to drive that one back. Ooh, it's a 9 box with DJ. Still looking for his first mark of the string. I don't get my nights free, Drew. I would love to do it, but my hall pass is good for the morning. I'm actually thinking about possibly heading down to Timber to see if I can cover the match. Let's go over. Come on. There you go. Give the man a break. DJ with a much needed strike to get him out of this half with some hopes. Beautiful ball. See it double sweep the 4 there. We'll get the stats up here. I'm going to move that scoreboard over to the other side, even though it's not really in the way here. That was a much needed strike for DJ. I think after only having the 1 spare late in the first, kind of plays in your head a bit. Switch things around here. So 44 plus a pair. Won't get him tied, but give him, well, that's not true. Good double. Mike's going to hit the head pin thin again. Similar to the last string where he just left the wing. This time he's got the right hand wing plus the 8-pin back there, so a little baby split. And oh, he bullies it through. Manages to get it through the cap. Picks up the spare 73 plus a ball through 6 as Capone continues to be on fire here at Sparetime. On the fill. Woof. Second split in a row. This time certainly not as friendly as that last one here. He removes kind of the front check mark and the 8-pin. So he's got the 4, the 5, 7, 9, and 10. I'd almost consider trying to sweep the wood there. I don't know what lanes were available. This wasn't actually recorded by me. This was recorded by Devish, and he sent me the video. And I was supposed to do a double header with those guys, but because I'm bad at calendars, I had to abandon them. So I said, get me the video. I'll give you the treatment. Which I would do for anybody. It's just a matter of time. Capone waiting on the wood to stop wiggling there between the 5 and the 6. He's got the 5, 6, sorry, the 4, 5, and 7. But that wood is potentially there to help clean it up for a 10. And he'll take 2 out of the 3, which probably isn't bad. He's at 87 through 7, which is exactly the same as he was in the previous string. 3 boxes to go, and Capone, once again, just continues to throw well here at Sparetime. I do like bowling on 8 and 9, or in this case, I'd use 10 and 11. Capone looking for the strike. Rocks the pocket, but that pin slides in between the 6 and the 10 as it heads out into the pit. And the reason that I like to use, there's 2 reasons I like to use those odd split lanes across the ball returns. Right on it for the spare. One of the reasons is I tend to do a lot of double header matches, and I like it when the bowlers are, reaching for bowling balls in the opposite directions. On the fill, he's going to be a bit short, but he gets some great late action out of that. An 8 with everything but the head pin and the 7-pin. It's just nice that the bowlers aren't reaching, towards where the other bowler is trying to take their shot. And makes it 2 in a row. And then the other thing that I like is behind the seating area, there are these little lockers that have a solid bench on top of them, and it's a good platform for the cameras. So that's kind of why I do the weird thing there, splitting across the 2 lanes. All right, 115 plus a ball here in the 9th as he throws for the 10th. Oof, I jinxed him. Punches right through the nose. It's a spread eagle plus the 9-pin hanging out back there. Just a 3 fill on the strike. But he will be over 120 again. Bit of a skip there, or a drop, I'm not quite sure. I didn't see it too close. It looked to be a bit of a drop. Just getting the 4 and the 7, so see if you can get a good out of this one. Yep, absolutely. Love the way that wood was bridged. A second strong string for Capone. 128 and 257 through 2. Not to say that it is impossible, but DJ's got a bit of a mountain to climb here. He'll need 85 pins in this half, including the fill on his strike, to take the string. He'll have to come up with 118 pins to take the lead in the match. That's a little steeper. Oh, come on! That, my friends, is an off-the-head pin double. Wow. That's one way to do it. Love it. 54 plus a ball through 5. He's getting back into the string potentially here with a decent ball. Up on the nose and come on, wiggle that orange pin out of there. No love. Well, that's what you get for hitting the head pin, I guess. It'll be a 6 fill or a 16 fill on his first strike. 60 for the half. 70 plus no more as he just misses his target there. Right back into the string, though he is up against a pair of spares. He'll chip 2 out of the wing. It'll be an 8 box. 84, just trailing by 3 now through completed boxes. Again, Mike does have a pair of spares he's going to have to address. Closes out the string here. Stays away from the head pin again, this time out to the right, leaving the lambda down the left and the 10 post. He picked this up for his first spare of the match in the last string. And is he going to go 2 for 2? Different way, but it still went. That seems to be Don's spare. 94 plus a ball, keeping pace with Capone here down the stretch. Hell of a ball. I also, speaking of 11 and 12, I did cover the match between Alfred Gagner and Larry Wentworth last week, and this were the lanes that they used. DJ still staying out to the right there. Leaves the Colery on the left. It'll be a 5 fill on the spare. Finds himself just down 6 through completed boxes, but again, up against a spare here. And it's going to be off the target, and he's going to be looking right at it. Just the head pin left standing. That might have been the ball to carry it. We'll never know. It's a tall order, but not an impossible one. 109 through 9, 19 to tie, 20 to win. So a strike, spare, spare strike combo here, and he'll get his first 2 points of the match. And he's going to do it without the head pin again. This time just the 4 horsemen down the left-hand side. I can't say I'm a big fan of where that piece of wood ended up. Oh, it drove through. Good ball by Don. All right, so it's going to come down to the fill ball here. Can he find a way to get 9 or 10? Give him that spare there, and it all comes down to 1 ball of pressure. You got to love that. It definitely seems like he's waiting on just one specific first ball there. Here we go. Thin, mixing, and he's going to be just a pin short. Rough draw. Oh, man. DJ drops the second, 127 to 128, but you know what? That's a heck of a late rally. You got to feel good about it. He definitely kept that close. You absolutely did a good job. Let's get this out of the way as Capone gets ready in string 3. That last string, Capone was 6 out of 10 on the head pin. He had 3 splits, a strike, 5 spares, a 10 and 4 pins left on the plate. And he'll start this one out off the head pin, leaving the 1-3-8. DJ in the last string was 5 out of 10 on the head pin, only had 1 split, 2 strikes, 2 spares, 110, and only 8 pins left standing. Mike looking to clean this up. It's on line. Absolutely. Every string so far, Capone has come out firing with a mark. Spares in the first and third. Strike in the second. On the fill here. He's on the head pin, but he's on it a little thin. And once again, we see the Starlight 5, this time on the left-hand side. Well, he picks up the 5-7 clean, but unfortunately for him, there's a few other pins out there. Todd, I can understand that. Ooh, this Capone's going to punch his way to a 9 box. (24 through 2), which is actually his worst opening pair so far in this match. He had a 26 through 2 in the first, 32 in the second, 24 now in the third. Right back on it though. Oof. Boy, that was a slow fall to a Nixon. I don't call this the banana split because I would never eat a banana split that looks like that. That's the Nixon. The 2 fingers on either side saying I'm not a makeable spare. 4, 6, 7, 10. Got a piece of wood there. See if you can. Nope. It's going to drive itself into the pit. And now you can see if you pick up the other 2. Make a Pro 10 out of this. And that one's going to go right down the meat. It'll be an 8 box, 32 through 3. Just 2 to go for Capone here as he tries to continue to pull away in this match. And again, as you see it, all the good numbers at the bottom and the middle there are red. He's leading by 32.5, which of course Don hasn't thrown a ball yet. On the head pin, we'll leave the check mark on the. That's not a split. The check mark on the right-hand side. So 3, 5, 6, and 10. It's got a piece of wood out to the left, but not really a factor. Just go right at this and hope you carry the corner. And he's going to take out the 5. So just the wing for a 10 box. He leads the match by 66 through his completed boxes. And he has a 4-0 lead early in the string. And there he goes, getting the kick off the wall for the 10 box there. 42 with 1 to go. Capone so far with a 12 mark to 5 mark advantage. Granted, he's had 4 extra boxes, but right on the orange pin. I never trust those guys. Look at that. Real thin. He's got the Starlight 5 on the right and the 7 pin all the way over to the left, though I do like the wood by the 7 to expand the hit. And he pops the core like you'd want, but unfortunately just a little too straight back. He's left looking at the 6, 7, 10. And that one will stay out. So it'll be an 8 box, an even 50-half for Capone. I guess, is that Mike saying he doesn't want to have this string recorded? Oh sure, he didn't mind the 129 and the 128. But Todd, if you keep watching, you might not be afraid of Fitchburg. All right, DJ looking to start it up here in the third. That one's going to slide. Looked like it almost went off his leg. Gets a great mix out of it, but some rotten wood. He's got the 1, the 2, and the 5. I just really hate the feeling that that cap's going to get up. That one's going to go right in the same spot. feel like that cap is just there to ruin this. Yep, we'll never know. 2 strings in a row. DJ's opened up with a $7, so hopefully he can get right back on pace. Again, it was the bookends in the last string, the end of the first half and the beginning of the second where he had his double. See if he can pull that off again. This one's going to come in a little light, a little short of the head pin. Leaves the 1, the 3, and the 7. It's got a nice piece of wood in behind and cuddled up to the 3 pin to help him try to get to the 7. Just got to be on target. Push it! No! Wow, you saw that head pin just get up and around the 7. Cruel. Looking for the 7 pin. And he manages to fight his way through the cap. 17 through 2. Looking for a head pin, looking for a mark. We found the head pin. Mark will be a little tricky here as he's got the Greek church. He's got the triangle 6 and then the 4 and the 7 pin all the way over to the left. He's got a nice plank in front of the 6. Let's see if he can get this to kick. Oh! And it did. It came off the wall and back. It got the 4, but just short of pushing that 7 over for the spare. He's got the duck for the 10 pin. And there it is. 2 10s in a row, 27 through 3. Still looking for his first marker of the string. And a mark or 2 here will go. Did he just not throw that into the gutter? Clearing the balls out of the gutter. Weird things happen here, right? Don looking to right his ship here at box 4. Hit the head pin, they say. It's good for you. Twice in a row he's hit the head pin. Twice in a row he's had some splits. And this one's a little interesting. He's got great wood on it. It's a 5-10 with a double pair. Oh, and oof. It fought. It fought for it. But he did get the spare. 37 plus a ball through 4. On the fill, good ball. Heavy push a friend. Well, 3 in a row on the head pin. This one finally not a split. Just the 3, 6, 10 to clean up. He's got some nice wood behind it. Put it on target. There you go. Nothing better than sitting down on a mark. It'll be 54 plus a ball when he gets back to it. We'll bring up the stats here at the midway point real quickly as I know Mike's getting ready to throw. Capone, just an even 50 half, but starting out on lane 12. Oh, the 5 tumbles. And what a beautiful setup for a spare here. He's got the plank in front of the 7. So an easy 14-inch target there. I'd say he could probably even hit that wood all the way over to the right by accident and still have this go down. But right at it. Starts out the second half the same way he started out the first half. A spare. Looking to turn those numbers red again. As you can tell, Mr. Capone always 100% into the match. 60 plus a ball here through 6. Oh no, he tempted fate a second time, and this time it says, I'm not going to play nice. He's got a bare 5, 7, 10. Pick a pin. Oh, and he shaves away too. Beautiful ball. I'm here to call him Matt. I can only assume that's Matt DePiro. I don't know. All right, looking for the stick here for an amazing 10 box out of the 5-7-10. And unfortunately, that one's going to stay wide. 76 through 7. So he's above par. And I won't rule out him getting a little warm here down the stretch and having another 120 string. He's been throwing well here today. That one's going to stay out to the right. Is it going to clean up the eagle? Nope. So he leaves everything in the middle there, the 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. He's got a good brace on the outside if he stays to the right side of the headpin. And unfortunately, he came across, caught the cap. Gets the 2 and the 9. And now just needs the 1, 5, and 8. So one hard on the nose here. Yep, there it is. That'll be a 10. 86 with a pair to go. So far, only 6 pins left standing on the plate this string. That's a stat we really started tracking more this season. I think Jeremy Seaholm played a big part in me going through and trying to track that as best as possible. Capone in the 9th is going to be off the head pin. He's going to take out one of the horse there. So he's got the 1, the 3, and the 10 with a great piece of wood in between. It's really, you know, one, sure, there's luck involved in it, what kind of leaves you have left and how things go for you. And he'll be off his mark there, everything but the head pin. But it really does kind of represent overall how well a person is capable of pinning over the course of the season. And that's pretty damn important, you know. Speaking of pinning, as he picks up the 10 box again, 96 with 1 to go. Many times a match comes down to, you know, a handful of pins or less, and that's the difference between winning and losing total. So, you know, focusing on picking up every pin possible is an important skill in candlepin. All right, his final box of the 3rd string. In trouble of reaching 120 unless he throws a double here. Oh. And that one will be a 7-10 split. We'll see where this wood ends up. It looks like they're going to, all right, they're going to make this interesting. So you have the angled piece of wood on the left, which if you hit it hard enough, it should let the ball continue into the 7 and hopefully push to the 10. Woo! I don't know if that's where he was shooting. I'll give him credit that he was, but it goes either way thanks to the wood. 106 plus the ball here. Most likely going to be 110 plus. All 3 strings well over his average. Hey, he liked it some. Oh, he wobbled it. That'll be a hell of a fill. It's a 9 box. 115 for Capone here. 372 for his opening 3. So not as big of a mountain as he's been facing in the previous strings, but Don's going to need a decent fill here to get him going in the right direction. He's going to need 62 pins to take the string, including this fill. He's going to need 60 pins to take the string. 61 now, as he just plucks out the 10 pin. I'm sure that's got to be frustrating when you're in the driver's seat and then do that to yourself. Great second ball. It's just going to roll in the wrong direction and not get that post for him. Almost cleaned it up for the spare, but now it looks like he's got 3 pieces of wood between him, and you never know when there's that much wood in play. But he's able to get one to kick it. Gets the 10 box. 65 with 4 to go. And, yep, he's going to need at least 1 mark, probably 2. Through completed boxes, Capone holding on to an 84-pin lead in the match as well. So, not completed boxes, sorry, through complete, well, everything that everybody has thrown, not equally completed boxes. It's DJ's turn for the 7-10 split, as he was a little light on the head pin coming across. He got the mix off the wall, but just couldn't take either corner. He's got this piece of wood that's come back and forth and back and forth. Looks like it's going to settle up a little to the right of center. See if he can make something out of this. I probably would have tried the same thing, is to catch that cap and hope your ball's going to deflect over into the 7. And the ball just kind of drove straight through, and that's going to be a 9 box as he catches the wood in the gutter. 74 with 3 to go. And Capone having, again, this is we were talking about pins left standing and how important it is. You know, where Capone picked up a pair of 10s down the line and then a 19 box. It's going to really force DJ here to get 2 marks. And that's a good start. A nice solid head pin hit. A great 8-pin drop. He's got the 6 and the 10. He's got the double wood in front of it, but they seem to be angled in the right direction. And somehow he just got around the front stick, caught the cap of the back, and yep, we've all been there. The clap of frustration, and then there it is. Drives home the 10 box. 84 with 2 to go. Good news is he's over 100. Bad news is he's running out of time to get his 2 marks. He's going to need 32 in these last 2 boxes. He's going to get a good get out of there. He's going to get a good splash through the 3 hole. Everything but the 1-2. I can't say that this wood is good news. Oh, all right. Got the cap and drove it back. That's a small target, and he hit it perfectly. Those are always scary. You're watching your ball, you know you're going to hit the cap as it's going down there, and you just don't know how it's going to play. All right, big fill needed here. And, or at least turn. Give him something to shoot at. Well, it deflects off. He's got the Starlight 5 to the right-hand side. Needs to blow this up. And the cap of the wood burned him this time, but we're watching it wiggle. So that'll be a 6-0 lead for Capone here as DJ is unable to convert it. And drives it through for the 10 box. So it'll be a tough 109 to 115 loss. Not that there's an easy 109 to 115 loss, but 332 through 3 isn't necessarily bad, but when your opponent's on fire, it feels like a mountain. He's down 40 through 3 strings. As Capone comes up to start out in the 4th. And Capone's going to start out halfway to Worcester there, punching through on the left-hand side. Again, you kind of want to shoot at the hole, but he's going the other way. I don't know if that's a safety ball. Don't know if he missed. That was his plan. Blows up everything for the Starlight 5 on the right, but leaving the 1, 4, and the 10, and it will be a 7 box. So for the first time this match, Mike is not going to start out with a mark. I'm sure if DJ is looking at the score sheet, he's like, "Woof, I have a chance." But you never know. Capone can certainly get hot. Firing away here in the 2nd. Oof. Oof. That's the welcome to Sparetime. That is the that is the shifted setback. The 4, the 5, and the 9. He tries the wood. I think he got it just a bit too high. He wanted to kind of get outside of that and push it over. Looking for a stick. He's going through the uprights. So it'll be an 8 box. 15 through 2. Not that his 372 start isn't awesome, but 15 through 2 is the slowest start of any string by either bowler so far. Box 3. Up on the head pin. Got a good mix. Wood comes over and taps the 5, but not at an angle to catch either the 3 or the 6, but just a nice 2-pin pickup here. Looks right, be right on it. I think I saw the moment of, oh no, don't punch through. I think I saw that on his face, but there it is. It's clean. It's a spare. He's back on track. 25 plus a ball through 3. And that one's, well, pretty sure that, oh my, look at this! Wow. Pretty sure that that one went off his leg. He was off balance. He hits the 610 pocket, ends up with a 9 fill, and just an incredible setup for an easy spare here on the 7-pin. Wow. That, my friend, is a break. Some days you get them, some days you don't, but that was certainly one. 2 in a row for Mike here. 44 plus a ball through 4. And again, off the head pin, no worse for the wear. The 1, 2, 4, 3 pinner down the left-hand side. Capone averaging 124.4 through this spot of the match, but that'll set him a little bit back there as he misses the head pin. Needs it for a 10 and a 61.5. And there it is. So despite the first 2 boxes being a little sticky for him, a pair of marks gets him right back on target. DJ, after having some hopes of an easier go of it, finds himself looking uphill at a 61 as he starts out here in the second. Oh, sorry, in the 4th. I know what I wanted to say. Oh, that's a good ball. A little high on the head pin, and he's left with a setback there on the left, the 4-5-7. He's got that piece of wood that makes you think you can catch the cap and get into the 5, and he's spun around real quick, so I'm pretty sure he knew out of his hand it wasn't going where he wanted. Gets a 10. So his perfect string is intact. He fires away here in the 2nd. Pops the head pin real solid. And let's see that 6 go. No. The only saving grace of this is that there's a nice angle, if you will, of that wood that if you're going to try to get where you need to kick, nope, he drove right through it, unfortunately. So he gets the 6, now he needs the 7. Right on it. 2 splits, 2 head pins, 2 splits, 2 10 boxes. So 20 through 2 as DJ starts out here in the 4th. I'll get the 4th right. I'm just in denial that we're in the 4th string already, I guess. Box 3. Again on the head pin. Now he just has to throw that same ball he just threw. He's got a plank off to the right. You just don't want to mess with this. You want to go right at the pin. And he does. All right. As Capone heated up right here in box 3, Don stays right with him. Right in on that 7-pin. Great spare. And looking for a fill. If you're Mike Capone, you shoot at the 610 pocket, right? Oh, no. Oh. Wow. Just the 2 and the 4. I'm telling you, if anybody ever wonders why I take the orange pins out, I'm blaming that 100% on that orange pin. Great second ball coming back at it, just off his target. Everything but the 1 and the 10. And he's just going to get the wood out of there. They don't count for pins. And unfortunately, that's going to turn that spare into a 10 box. 40 through 4. That's just a rough break. All right, let's see if DJ can get things cooking here. Sit down on a mark. I'll be off the head pin. Got the 1, 2, 4, and 5 to shoot at here. Catch his target. Boom. Look at that just explode. That's a much needed spare. He'll sit down on the mark. 50 plus a ball at the half. Get that out of there while we watch Mike warm up on the other side. Some kid doing river dance on the lane from the sound of it. I love stuff like that. I really do. All right, Mikey on box 6. Gonna dodge the head pin. And again, he's getting the late falls, and that's kind of what you need. Ugly. 1, 7, 8, 10, but the wood really looks wired for him. Wow, I think he got the head pin a little more thin than he'd hoped. And as a result, I think it kicked that wood just right to the gutter. Yeah, right to the gutter and around that tail. Gets the single. So another 10 for Capone. That is his 6th of the match. 71 through 6. We do track perfect boxes, which is any box that results in a strike, a spare, or a 10. We look at it as an overall percentage. So far, through Capone's back on the head pin, it looks like a baby split there with the 2, 5, 7, 8, and I don't like that wood out front. So through 36 boxes, Mike actually has 22 perfect. DJ through 35 is looking at 18. Sorry, not 18, that's wrong. Is also looking at 22, just heavier on the 10s and less on the spares. That's not today, Macaulay. As Capone picks it up for the 10 box, great ball on it. This is recorded from New Year's. So technically I would assume he's not on the clock unless he works for one of those mean places that makes their folks work on New Year's. Capone back on the head pin, strips the walls and leaves just the king. How you doing, Pat? It's good seeing your work over there at Sawyer's and your penmanship on ACST matches down there. Capone just at the middle. He's going to leave that one outside. He's going to want that back. Can he get down the nose for the 10 bucks? Of course he can. 91 with a pair to go. Both bowlers are doing a pretty good job of keeping the plates clean here. Just 21 left standing for Capone, 22 for Don through what they've thrown so far. Mike's going to get the head pin light again. They're going to give him splits until he learns not to do that. He's got the 3, 9, and 10. A good piece of wood in between there to help plank that out. Maybe this can catch that wood and go over to the 7. If there was a corner pin that was going to go down, that's not the way I saw that happening. Wow. Just needs the 10. And that one will catch the gutter and come back out, so it'll be a 9 box. 100 with a box to go. Capone, once again. Really good shot at being over his average for the 4th string. He's been on the head pin 5 times. 3 of them were splits in this string. And he stays out to the right there. He gets left with the 1-5 and everything to the left of it, and a great piece of wood tucked in behind the head pin. And unfortunately, he misses the head pin. Does blow up the wood real nice. Looking at the 1 and the 7 to clean up for a 10 box. We'll see how this goes here. Gonna punch right through it. So for the second string in a row, nope, that's not the second string in a row. He'll be at a 109. It was DJ that had the 109 in the last string. I don't want to be that mean. But DJ stepping up at 50 plus a ball. Needs 60 to win the string. So just don't hit the 10 pin. And he's gonna get the 5 pin to drop, so I'm sure it was in his mind, don't just hit the 10 pin. He's got the 4 horse down the left, and I don't, well, no, all right. If he can get away from the cap of that wood, this should be a nice shot. There it was. Blows up the 4 horsemen. Second spare in a row. 66 plus a ball. Through 6. And on the fill, he's going to be off the head pin on the other side. The 1, the 3, and the 10. Looks like the piece of wood in behind the 1 and the 3 might help keep things aiming towards the 10. And it does! 3 in a row. DJ heating up late here in the match. Good little kick on the 10 pin there at the end. He has been struggling on spare fills, just averaging high 4s, but that'll help. Back on the head pin, shreds the wall. It's an 8 fill, moves his average spare fill up to 5.3. Capone, 6.1 for what it's worth. And can he get this down the heart? 4 in a row. Picking up the 5-9. 101 plus a ball through 8. A fill of 4, and he'll at least tie the string. And I don't want to jinx him with the 4 talk. Right through the nose. That's a hard 6. He's got the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 10. He's waving that off, so those 2 pins won't count. He thinks he scooped in on that, and that's entirely the bowler's call, and it's probably accurate. I probably would have waved that off myself. It'll be an 8 box, 115, so he's cutting into the match lead here. I'm sure he'd love a mark. I got your DM, Pat, and it's exactly that. So while I'm doing the commentary in the video, I'm watching this, and I'm looking at it on Facebook at the same time. So, yep, I can see your comments. Absolutely what I'm doing. All right, DJ, looking to run this down. After a struggle box, it'll be a 9. He's on the board, folks. His first 2 points of the match at a good string. 124 to 109. Cuts 15 off of the 40-pin lead that came in. Capone at 481. Devish at 456. So it's a 25-pin difference, which is, I mean, look, that's a lot. But I'm saying there's a chance. See what Mr. Nichols was sending me. Capone starts out string 5 on the head pin and immediately regretting it with a setback off to the left side, the 4-5-7. Oh, I thought he had a chance at cutting that across there as he got it pretty much right where you want to do it. But just no love getting it to come up enough to catch either of those two pins. So just the 4 and the 7 here, looking for a 10 bucks. And that one's going down Broadway. Be an 8. All right, Capone here in box 2. Alrighty, that's a much better ball for him on the head pin. Hits that nice and light, gets the shave, so just the 2, 4, and 7 to clean up for a spare. And unfortunately that one gets away from him. I don't know if that pin is too far forward. Hopefully it rolls out of the way. DJ's checking it. I will grab the wrong mouse. He's leaving it. Wow. There is a line, for those that don't know, there is a line that's 2 feet in front of the head pin. And that's kind of the no-go range for where a pin, if it's sticking, any part of it is touching or over that line, you're supposed to take it out of play. But that one was probably right on the verge. It'll be a 10 for Capone as he drives through that high wood. Which, look, that's not an easy shot by any means. So good for Mike. And there's a ball. Everything but the 3. Straight at it. And there he is. Once again, box 3 marks for Capone. 2 strings in a row. Gets himself going in the right direction, looking for a big fill here. And that one's going to come across, but again, he's been getting away with that all day long. It'll be a 7 drop. Just the 1, the 8, and the 10. He's got some wood that makes this look tasty. A little thin, and it won't get the corner for him. See if he can pick up the peg here. And he does. It'll be a 10 bucks. 45 with 1 to go. Talking with Matt Nichols real quick. And Capone looking for the corner. Couldn't get it to go. Great ball. 4 out of 5 on the head pin. Just a single split here in the half. Most importantly, looking at the 7 pin with a solid plank. Uh-oh. All right. All that wood there wasn't going to let it happen. 55 plus a ball. Another solid half from Capone. He's been 60, 63, 50, 61, and this is likely going to be another 60 half. DJ getting up and firing away here in the last string. And that one's going to hold tight. Just take out, well, no, I'm wrong. It's going to keep going. So it ends up leaving the 1-5, everything to the right. And a small, well, he just came across and managed to half Worcester. It's one of those there with all the extra wood he had mixed in there. You just kind of want to smash that head pin with everything you got. And punch him out. So it'll be an 8 box. Both bowlers tied through the first box of the 5th string. And again, DJ having to find a way to pick up an extra 25 points. Capone doing everything he can to make it hard. much. You know, this sport will confuse the hell out of anybody. I said a much better ball starting off the second box, hits the head pin, and look at what he's left with. 5, 7, 9, and 10. He takes out the 9. That's got to be frustrating, but you know, that's why we play this game, because we hate ourselves. They'll pick out the 10 pin. It'll be an 8 box, so just 16 through 2. As DJ manages to go perfect for the first 2 boxes across 5 strings. Not a single mark for him, unfortunately. That one's going to miss the head pin, and it's a better result. He's got the 1, the 4, the 9. He's got some interesting wood in behind it, so if he can hit this head pin hard, well, he's going to come up short. Come up short. Got to make those targets. And it'll be a 9 box. All right, looking to right the ship here. 25 through 3. Off the head pin again. Hits the 3, sorry, the 2-4 pocket. Leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 8. No wood. That's a tough one here. He hits it pretty solid, but the head pin's just missing the 8. DJ's trying to fight the mindset of looking at this turning into a 12-2 match as he picks up the stick. 35 through 4. All right, obviously wanted to sit on a mark just like Capone did. DJ's looking to fire away here in the 5th. And I believe that is actually the first spread eagle we've seen all match. Wow. Tough break. Especially when you know. Ooh! Come get it! Wow! What a shot. Holy cow. I'm not even going to put up the match stats. We're just going to watch this one a few times. What a shot at the eagle at a house that I would say is probably not. Let's just watch it again. Boom, cut, push. Solid. That is, one more time. That was just so good to watch. I'm sorry. This is everybody's biggest nightmare probably when it comes to looking at spares. If it's a 7-10, you're like, you have no chance in hell. Not a big deal if I don't get it. But the spread eagle, you know, is just, you think about the 10 box, but he gets this great kick off the wall. Ah, good for you, DJ. Let's move the scoreboard to the other side so we can see Mr. Capone. As he does that light hit, gets away with it again. It's a 9 fill, 64 half for Capone here in the 5th. He needs 55 pins in this half to finish with a 600. And that one he's going to want back. Grabs the stick for a 10 box, 74 through 6. All right, 4 boxes to go. Looking to run down 45 pins. 1 mark will have him in 600 territory. And that one's going to come across, but again, no worse for the wear. 1, 3, 6, 9. Shooting at it, and just a little short. He leaves the 1 and the 9. See if he can pick up a couple of sticks here, keep himself in the running. He gets the back one. It'll be a 9 box. 83 with 3 to go. Again, needing 36. Not that he doesn't need every pin that he needs or can get to stay away from Don Devish here, but, you know, 600 is one of those, you know, milestone scores you look for. And I'm sure it's in his head. I know he knows how many pins he needs. All right, box 8 for Capone. Starts out with a half Worcester on both sides. This is one of those where you throw this ball and you're hoping that you don't shoot through either of these holes and that you can hit it light enough to make something. Oh, the murder box. The murder box. It's a 5 box. That's just... Anybody who's ever played this game knows how that feels. That is the ultimate home wrecker. Raw deal. Firing away in box 9. A little shy of the head pin, leaves the Caleri on the left-hand side. He's got that orange pin out front, so I don't trust any of this to play the way that it's supposed to. Gives it a hell of a ride, but that's kind of what I expect out of spare time, is you'll run the first 3 down out of a 4-horse and won't find a way to carry to the back. Grabs a stick. That's a 9 box. 97. And I'm sure the frustration's getting to him as that 600 is slipping away unless he gets a double here. He's sitting at 578. Still a great day of bowling. He's averaging 118. All right. Going to be on the head pin. He's going to get the split, so we'll finish the day 32 out of 50 on the head pin, 15 splits, so that's fairly average for the ratio of splits to head pins. He's going to punch out the 2 pin out of that mess. Grab a couple of sticks here, and we'll see what DJ can do. I mean, I don't want to jinx or say anything one way or the other, but a hot second half here as Capone finishes with just a 104 and a 7 box, a 585 day, which is 117 average. There is nothing wrong about that performance. The only thing I can say is that it does feel like there's just a little opening in the door here for DJ at the end of the match. Sitting at 45 plus a ball, needs a lot. I mean, he needs 60 pins to win the string, but you know, he has a really hot half. The match is still within play. And that's a hell of a start. It's a split. It's a baby split. Looks like it's just the 2 and the 7, but that's an 8 fill. Puts him at a 53 half, and it tightens things up quick. Get in there. Good Lord, if that didn't go. I'd be fighting. I would be fighting if that didn't go the way that was hit. But here it is, off the 2. That wood picks up some speed. The 7 was already on its way down, so 63 plus a ball. Is it going to push another one? Yep, another 2. It's going to be a split again, but it's a 7 drop, so he's kind of caught up on the pace here. 70 through 6. He's got the 3, 9, 10. Great piece of wood behind it. And blows it up again. DJ really has gotten hot on lane 12 down the stretch here. 80 plus a ball. And I don't want to jinx it, but I haven't watched the outcome. I haven't seen the scores of this match. You know, I am doing the commentary after this match was thrown on the first. Let's see the fill here. He's got the check mark on the head pin again. It's a 6 fill, 86 through 8. He's up against a 5 box. The string looks really good. You just want to keep your body under control. Take some deep breaths. Oh, good ball on the check mark. He couldn't get the 10 to carry. Heck of a match here down the stretch. Let that pin cozy up. Make the target bigger for you. It's still wobbling. Gotta wait it out. So, assuming he gets a 10 here, that's 96, and that's plus 8. He's up against 16 in the last 2, trying to cut into 25. So this is, it's coming down to the wire. There it is. So the match lead, if I'm not mistaken, is just 33. So a 9 wins the string. 2 marks. He needs 2 marks, but he has a shot at the match here. Yep, there it is again. He loves these baby splits, it seems, and he's got the great wood there. So he's got the 3 and the 10. He's got that angled stick. You want to hit this heavy. Oh, and he caught the cap. That's a ball breaker. That's just a bummer. And it'll be a 9-box, 105. He definitely has got at least 4. I won't say it's impossible, because right now, obviously, the gap is 24. So he needs double strike. There is a chance. But right now, it's a 4-10 split. Possibly for it, it'll probably go 6-8, but most likely, sorry, not 4-10. It'll be a 4-10 for Capone. There it is. It's decided. Looking to run it down. It's going to be outside. Whew. I love finishes like that where you think that something can happen and you're engaged right down to the last box, and that's how the ACST goes. DJ's going to finish with a 112, beating Mike's 104. He'll take 2 of the last 3 strings. The two last strings. 568, averaging 113.6, which is over his average on the season. But again, Capone just held out and stayed on top. DJ was 25 out of 50 on the head pin, 14 splits, so maybe just a little high, but right about normal. Had 2 strikes, 14 spares, 14 tens, left 34 pins on the plate. Capone, really the spares were the difference. He had a 2 spare edge, and that's it. I mean, really, that's the 20 pins. Well, that's good enough for me. I'm glad I could cover this match, even though I abandoned these poor guys there on New Year's. And what I'll do is I'll get my head out of here. I'll stop talking, and I'll play all the highlights, and we'll call it a match. Have a good one, folks. Bye. I'll get there. There we go. And we'll grab that. 8 above par, as Bob Lee would say, which is pretty much. Well, and then there's that. Huge fan of that wood out to the right, but I hope the one behind doesn't kind of kick him away from the 10. Nope, bullies it right over. Obviously would love to pick this up. He's got a good ball for it. Hello, and there it is. Half this on the left side, the 1, 2, 4, 8, and then the 10 post. Oh, there you go. His Google Drive, shared it with me and downloaded it, and here we go. Capone firing away in string 2. Well, wait for that to flop into the 10. But everything's lined up really good here for a 20 bucks. And there it is. Wood's behind it, so that shouldn't be a problem. But my hall pass is good for the morning. I'm actually thinking about possibly heading down to Timber to see if I can cover the match. Let's go over! Come on! There you go. Right hand wing plus the 8 pin back there, so a little baby split. And oh, he bullies it through into the pit. And the reason that I like to use, there's 2 reasons I like to use those odd split lanes across the ball returns. Right on it in the 7 pin. It's just nice that the bowlers aren't reaching, towards where the other bowler is trying to take their shot. And makes it 2 in a row. 18 pins to take the lead in the match. That's a little steeper. Oh, come on! And the 10 post. He picked this up for his first spare of the match in the last string. And is he going to go 2 for 2? Different way, but it's still. I can't say I'm a big fan of where that piece of wood ended up. Oh, it drove through. Good ball. 10 and only 8 pins left standing. Mike looking to clean this up. It's on line. Absolutely. Twice in a row he's had some splits. And this one's a little interesting. He's got great wood on it. It's a 510 with a double pair. Oh, and oof. Throw on the head pin. This one finally not a split. Just the 3-6-10 to clean up. He's got some nice wood behind it. Put it on target. There you go. I'd say you could probably even hit that wood all the way over to the right by accident and still have this go down. But right at it. Should let the ball continue into the 7 and hopefully push to the 10. Woo! Everything but the 1-2. I can't say that this wood is good news. Oh, all right. Got the cap and drove it back. An angle to catch either the 3 or the 6, but just a nice 2-pin pickup here. Looks right, be right on it. Ends up with a 9 fill and just an incredible setup for an easy spare here on the 7-pin. Wow. He's got a plank off to the right. You just don't want to mess with this. You want to go right at the pin. And he does. All right. Got the 1, 2, 4, and 5 to shoot at here. Catch his target. Boom. Look at that. And I don't... Well, no, all right. If he can get away from the cap of that wood, this should be a nice shot. There it was. Piece of wood in behind the 1 and the 3 might help keep things aiming towards the 10. And it does. 3 in a row. Average spare fill up to 5.3. Capone, 6.1 for what it's worth. And can he get this down the heart? 4 in a row. Straight at it. And there he is. Once again, box 3 here in the half. Most importantly, looking at the 7-pin with a solid plank. Uh-oh. All right. All that wood there. Match. Wow. Tough break. Especially when you know... Ooh! Come get it! Wow! Maybe split. Looks like it's just the 2 and the 7, but that's an 8 fill. Puts him at a 53.5, and it tightens things up quick. Get in there. Good Lord, if that didn't go. Right up on the pace here. 70 through 6. He's got the 3, 9, 10. Great piece of wood behind it. And blows it up. Again.